welcome to the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. It is time for my NFL Week 15 picks for the 2016 NFL season. I hope you all enjoyed the new intro. If not, don't tell me, it'll break my heart. No, it's okay, you can tell me down in the comment section below. We are improving, always upgrading here on Sports Fan Entertainment. But we are here to talk about my Week 15 picks, not about me, although I'm very interesting. And last week, I had a pretty damn good week. Remember what I said last week? I said, hey, I'm picking a lot of road teams this week, but if a team wins and they're on the road, I probably pick them. And that was pretty much true except for the New York Jets, who had to go to San Francisco and come back against those horrible 49ers that unfortunately I picked. But outside of that, I went 11-5. Against the spread, I believe I had my best week as I went 12-3-1 last week against the spread. Absolutely tremendous against the spread. And then my GUARAN-DAMN-TEES were 5-2. This brings my overall records to 127, 79-2 straight up, 106, 97-3 against the spread, over 500, definitively over 500, and my GUARAN-DAMN-TEES 45, 33-1. So if you're betting with me this season, you're making money. Let's keep that going, and let's start with the Thursday games. We have the Los Angeles Rams at the Seattle Seahawks, the Thursday game. I don't know why I made that plural. So the Rams just fired Jeff Fisher. Good. Everyone on the planet, I mean, even him, he knows that he deserved this. Everyone knows that he deserved to be fired. Now their interim head coach is some guy named Jim Fassel. Who the hell is that? They're going to lose this football game. However, this spread right now is 16. I mean, it was like 13. Now it's gone all the way up to 16. That's way too much for me because this Seahawks team struggles with this Rams defense, really. I mean, this Seahawks offense really has trouble moving the football consistently on Robert Quinn and Michael Brockers and everyone they have defensively. So I would not pick the Seahawks to cover that spread, but I do like the Seahawks to win this game. And probably by 10 points or something like that. But I think 16 points is way too much for what we know will be probably a close game. Because this NFC West between the Seahawks and the Rams is always close for some stupid reason. We move on to the Saturday game. Because now there's a Saturday game. Because the NFL is so happy. College football is out of the way. They get to dominate Saturday along with every other day of the week that they dominate. As we have the Miami Dolphins going to New York and taking on the New York Jets. And, the Jets, to my surprise, much to my surprise, went to San Francisco and won. Let me tell you, I'm horrible as it pertains to picking Jets games. I mean, every time I pick them to lose, I mean, sometimes I've proven right, I think even most of the time, but they'll beat like Baltimore and they'll beat San Francisco, and I just won't see it coming. So perhaps they'll win this one, but I just don't see it coming. I don't know why this Dolphins team would go to New York and lose. Yes, Ryan Tannehill is currently injured, and they're going to be starting Matt Moore, but are we really talking about a big dip in quarterback production? I don't think so. Vegas doesn't think so. This point spread only moved by 1 point when Ryan Tannehill was no longer the starter for this football team. I don't think anyone buys that Ryan Tannehill is so valuable for this football team, although he's been playing better lately. I expect Jay Ajayi to run all over this Jets defense, which is still pretty bad. I mean, Carlos Hyde, I believe, had the best game of his career last week. I don't see why Jay Ajayi can't find similar success. Give me the Dolphins on Saturday Night Football. We move on to the Sunday games. We have the Cleveland Cavaliers at the Buffalo Bills, and more, week by week, it appears as if the Cleveland Browns will go 0-16. Now, I believe there is still hope, and their hope really just relies on two things, not this game, but mainly that in the future, the next 2 weeks, San Diego will either sleep against them or that Pittsburgh will be resting all of their starters in Week 17, which is a very viable possibility, by the way. Anyway, for this game, they're going to lose, right? The Bills are playing very well, right? I mean, not very well, but they're playing all right. They're playing better than Cleveland, for God's sake. I mean, they're like 6-7 at this point. They're fighting for Rex Ryan, I guess. I wouldn't fire him. I think they're going to. I don't know what their expectations were. Bills, you didn't sign a free agent. You didn't do anything on the offseason except sign Tyrod Taylor to a ridiculous contract extension. Why are you expecting anything? You didn't add a wide receiver. You didn't add a cornerback. You added one linebacker in Zach Brown, okay, who's done something for you. Congratulations on that. And Lorenzo Alexander as well. So the two guys that you did sign that were under the radar have done well, but you didn't sign anybody worth a damn, really, that anyone's expecting to do anything. So I don't know why you're shocked. You're in the same place where last year. Why are you shocked? No one's shocked. Anyway. I like the Bills to win this game. We move on to the Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears. Packers are playing great. They've won 3 straight games. I do expect a little bit of a dip here because for some reason the Bears sometimes slow them down a little bit. And the Bears have been competitive. I mean, they just can't win. You just can't win with Matt Barkley as your quarterback. Jordan Howard's very impressive, but he will struggle against this Packers run defense, which proves to be very good as long as they're not facing Ezekiel Elliott and that Cowboys offensive line. The Packers should get it done to win their 4th straight game here. Let's move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cincinnati Bengals. And, I really paused here. I wanted to pick the Bengals, but right now the Steelers are just rolling, and I really like how their defense is playing. They slowed down LaShawn McCoy for the majority of that game last week in Buffalo in that snowy game. I think they limit the run game of the Bengals, which is the offense of the Bengals. And yes, AJ Green might come back for this game, but he himself will tell you that he won't be 100% for this game. He's not ready yet. And this Steelers team, although their offense has not exploded, Le'Veon Bell did explode last week, but passing game has been struggling a little bit. Ben Roethlisberger throwing interceptions. I expect this Pittsburgh Steelers team to win. They're starting to run the football and play defense, man, and that's very dangerous. I may yet again jump on this team to go to the Super Bowl. We move on to the Detroit Lions at the New York Giants, and remember, this guy right here correctly predicted that the New York Giants would defeat the Dallas Cowboys last week on Sunday Night Football. And listen to me now, as I have the Lions going to New York and beating the New York Giants, and it's for a couple of reasons. Number one, although I did pick the Giants and I was watching that game and I was rooting for the Giants only for my pick to be right, by the way, not because I have any interest in either of the teams, Eli Manning was scaring the hell out of me repeatedly. I mean, this guy was trying to do some Harlem Globetrotter, Jabberwocky nonsense, some behind the back passes like Jason Williams or Jason Kidd. I don't know what he was doing. There was this play at the end of the game. Did you see it? In the 4th quarter on the last drive, they're trying to clinch this game. This guy, okay, I'm looking this way, turn around, throw the ball, and almost intercepted. What is this guy doing? I mean, this guy's playing like Jason Williams out here. And God, I can't trust Eli. I can't trust Matthew Stafford, who was having an MVP level season. And I like the matchup here where the Giants are very good at slowing down your run game, right? That is their strength of their defense. The Lions don't care because they're like, well, we're not going to run the football anyway. So we're just going to throw it on you anyway because that's what we want to do. And yes, these Giants cornerbacks are good. They're 4 deep at cornerback. I think at the end of the game, when this game is close and low scoring, I trust Matthew Stafford to get it done for me more than I like Eli Manning to get it done for me, even in New York. I like the Lions to upset the New York Giants in New York. Although both of these teams are 9-4, it would be an upset. Vegas currently has the Giants 4.5-point favorites. Let's move on to the Tennessee Titans at the Kansas City Chiefs, and perhaps my Tennessee Titans will prove me wrong again. Hopefully they will. But as a objective analyst, as a guy that covers the game, not just my team, I have to pick the Chiefs here. Yes, the Titans have a very high probability of upsetting here, but ultimately my heart feels and my mind feels morally that there's a 55 to 60% chance that the Chiefs win, and I have to go with that percentage. Okay, I just have to go with that percentage. This Chiefs team is playing absolutely great. An argument could be made that they are the second best team in the AFC. I heard someone make this argument that because they beat the Raiders twice, they're obviously better than the Raiders. I don't know if I buy that. Think about it this way. This Chiefs team has lost to 3 teams, right? None of them are the Oakland Raiders, which is impressive. But the Raiders have only lost to 2 teams, one of which is the Chiefs. So it just, to me, there's an argument to be made that since the Raiders go out and beat other people more than the Chiefs go out and beat other people, that the Raiders are actually better than the Chiefs because they have a better outside of the division record. They have a better record against anyone but the Chiefs, and the Chiefs have a better record against anyone but the Raiders. So that's my thoughts on that. But anyway, The Chiefs, matchup-wise, this does favor the Titans a bit, where the Chiefs cornerbacks, they're not great. You can find success against them, but the Titans wide receivers, they're not great either. And I think the speed of Tyreek Hill is really going to expose some holes in the Titans secondary, and ultimately the Titans will get it done. But this game will be close, and the Titans very well might upset. I really hope that they do. We move on to the Indianapolis Colts at the Minnesota Vikings. And I got another upset here, as I have the Indianapolis Colts going to Minnesota and getting the job done. Look, I tried to turn on Game Pass yesterday and watch, why did the Colts lose to the Texans? I mean, no one wants to sit down and watch the game and say, okay, what happened here? You know, they were going down the field a good amount. They just couldn't convert field goals. They missed some field goal. Adam Vinatieri missed a field goal uncharacteristically of him. They faltered in the red zone a little bit. 2 interceptions by Andrew Luck, and they lost, right? So that gives me some confidence. And I think right now, I don't even think I know, I trust Andrew Luck more than Sam Bradford and this Vikings whatever offense. Is it an offense? Can I call it that? I know they scored 25 last week, but that was against the Jaguars defense. This isn't an offense. You're going to see Vontae Davis slow down Stephon Diggs if he decides to play. You're going to see Stafford struggle against this Colts defense, which, guys, it's not that bad. They haven't given up 30 in a while. I mean, they really haven't. Their defense isn't that bad. Their offensive line's been playing better. They only let up 1 sack last week and 45 Andrew Luck passing attempts. Guys, I like the Colts to go to Minnesota and win. The Colts have been good on the road. They went to Tennessee and won. They went to Denver and competed. They went to Houston and almost won. They can go on the road and win. I like the Colts to go to Minnesota and pick up a victory here. Let's move on to the Philadelphia Eagles at the Baltimore Ravens. Eagles season has completely fallen apart. They can't win a game to save their lives. Why the hell would I pick them here? I'm not. I'm picking the Baltimore Ravens to beat the Philadelphia Eagles here. It'll probably be, if the Eagles decide to give up, then it could end up being a little high scoring in the Ravens just putting up points like they beat the Dolphins 38-6 a couple weeks ago. But it should be a lower scoring game, you know, with a lot of field goals probably. But how can you pick the Eagles right now, man? They're just playing horrible. They're playing terrible. I mean, they're not getting blown out, but they're just losing. They're 2-8. They're 2-8 since week 4. Oh, that's so awful. We move on to the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Houston Texans, and I'm going to be rooting for the Jaguars. I'm going to be the biggest Jaguars fan on the planet. Everything I said about you, Blake Bortles, I take it back. You're so good, Blake. Go beat the Texans. Come on, do it for my Titans, please. And he won't, right? He's not good enough. He's not good enough. This Jaguars team isn't good enough. Their head coach, Gus Badley, and yes, I did say badly because he sucks so badly as a head coach. I call him Gus Badley. And this guy is going to find a way to lose this game. It'll be close. I think they're going to cover the spread just to piss me off. But ultimately, they will lose because that is what they do. The Jacksonville Jaguars are one of the biggest jokes in the NFL. They continue to be one of the biggest jokes in the NFL. I'm tired of talking about them. I'm done talking about it. We move on to the San Francisco 49ers at the Atlanta Falcons. And the 49ers, I was a perfect, so perfect, 12-0 with my 49er games this year. And I said, you know what? I'm going to pick them to win again. And they almost did it. They were 14-0. Bryce Petty looked terrible. And then I don't know what happened. I can't believe that Chip Kelly, of everyone on the planet, Chip Kelly decided to let his what's the term? Let his foot off of the gas pedal, and didn't put up points in the second half. I don't know what happened. You can't pick this 49ers team to win a game. And the Falcons, they know how to take care of business against bad teams this season. Yes, they'll lose their, games against, the San Diego Chargers. But the 49ers are not that type of team. The 49ers will lose this game pretty easily, pretty badly. Give me the Falcons to win this game. We move on to the New Orleans Saints at the Arizona Cardinals. And yeah, shame on me. Did I say it? I said, why did I pick the Cardinals last week? Even in my picks video, I said, please, Carson Palmer, just hand it off to David Johnson, please. And he still found a way to throw 2 interceptions. And they didn't do anything when they needed to in the damn fourth quarter. I don't know what they were doing. This defense did everything they could, but they just couldn't do it. Now they're back at home, right? And I'm going to go back, okay? I'm going to go back. I'm done If the Cardinals are at home and they're facing a team that's not that good, pick them. If they're on the road and they're facing a team that's all right, pick them to lose. That's the move. Why did I go away from it? I don't know. I'm going back to it. Give me the Cardinals. They're facing a 5-8 team. They're in Arizona. This is a game that they win. They should win. Hopefully they do win. We move on to the New England Patriots at the Denver Broncos. And perhaps I'm crazy. And, it's probably true I am. But I like the Broncos to win this game. Look, yes, the Broncos are not playing great. They lost to Tennessee in Tennessee last week. But, man, this Broncos team, they've been giving the Patriots serious struggles and problems in Denver the past couple of years. And mainly it's because of this defense. This defense really pressures Tom Brady. Now, the way they're going to lose this game if they do is because LeGarrette Blount decided to run all over their defense, their run defense, which is pretty freaking bad. But I think something up there in Denver, the way Aqib Talib and Chris Harris Jr., the way they cover these New England Patriots wide receivers, no tight end now for the Patriots. I know they have Martellus Bennett, I don't care. He's not fast enough or dynamic enough to beat TJ Ward and Todd Davis off of the ball. So that's not going to happen. I like the Broncos to win this game. I think they have the Patriots number in Denver. I think they get hyped up for this matchup. My only problem is, can Demaryius Thomas wake up? Because sometimes he likes to sleep against this football team. Wake up, dude. They're going to need you to make plays. Malcolm Butler's playing great this season. If he does, and if they do, they can find some holes in this Patriots defense. I'm finding more and more holes every week. I think they will too. I like the Broncos to win in Denver over New England. New England's, they're not going to go to me. This is not a 14-2 year for New England. I smell one or two more losses for New England this year. This is not a 14-2 year. So I think this is going to be it. We move on to the Oakland Raiders at the San Diego Chargers. And, if this game took place in the middle of the season, perhaps I pick San Diego. But right now, they're not very good anymore. They lost in Carolina last week. They weren't even close. I picked them to beat Carolina. Damn me. I'm not doing it again. Right now, Melvin Gordon is out there starting this Kenneth Farrow kid. I haven't watched the film from, that game yet, but this guy, from what I saw, didn't look very impressive at all. I picked him up in fantasy just because, hey, I need a running back in my flex position, but I don't trust him to be dynamic enough to make a big difference in this football game. So give me the Raiders to bounce back after a loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. They know they need this win. They're going to come out motivated, happy. I like them to cover the spread as well. Give me the Oakland Raiders to go to San Diego and win. I think this Chargers team, maybe they just want Mike McCoy fired at this point because they're just not playing well at all. We move on to the Sunday Night Football matchup. And I guess the Cowboys are now just a stalemate on Sunday Night Football as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And look, I picked the Cowboys to lose last week for the first time in a month, by the way, and I was right when I did so. And again, I'm picking the Cowboys to lose. This Tampa Bay Bucs team is legit. The way they're playing right now is legit. Michael Lombardi said something very profound on Speak for Yourself, the Fox Sports show the other day, which I think was very true when I really thought about it. You need to ignore the results of games we saw in September and October. You need to look at the results we're seeing now. And in the last month, this Bucs team has gone to Kansas City, 10-3 Kansas City and won. They've dominated the 8-4-1 Seattle Seahawks. They beat the Saints yesterday, or last week. It wasn't too impressive, but they beat them. They blew out the Bears. This Bucs team right now, they're playing great. G-R-A-A-T, great. G-R-E-A-T, great. They're 5-1 on the road, I believe, this season. They are road warriors. This Cowboys team, they've been good at home, but historically, they're not great at home either. I mean, it's not like it's tough to go to Dallas and play under their, under their roof and whatnot. This Bucs team is playing absolutely great. Their defense is playing great. Now you're starting to hear some, talk about Romo and whatnot. I think it's going to psych out Dak a little bit. I think they limit the Cowboys offensively, and I like the Bucs team to win here. It's going to be low scoring, very low scoring, and a couple plays will decide this game. But the way this Bucs team is playing right now, they need to be respected. It's much more about the Bucs, this pick, than it is about the Cowboys. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to go to Dallas and get a huge huge victory. We move on to the Monday Night Football game. The Carolina Panthers at the Washington Redskins. And, the Panthers continue to be an absolute crucifix for me when it comes to picking games. I don't know when they're going to win games, but they find ways to win games, and I never pick them to. Now, they're going to Washington. And, Washington definitely has issues, but I think I know who they are at this point. And they're a team that at home, they can put up points. Now, this Panthers defense, depending on which Panthers defense shows up, if it's the Panthers defense that showed up last week against San Diego, they could certainly win this game. If it's a Panthers defense that showed up a couple weeks ago, probably not. I like this Washington Redskins team to take care of business. I like the Panthers to cover, though, so look out for that. But this Redskins team, they should get it done against a below 500 team at home, Monday Night Football, with a lot of playoff implications on the line. If they lose this game, to me, though, I think they're done. I think they're absolutely finished if they lose this game. Maybe not absolutely, but probably. Okay, now let's move on to my GUARAN-DAMN-TEES of the week. These are my betting picks for the week, and let's start with some over-under plays. Let's start with the Miami Dolphins at the New York Jets. Right now, this over-under line is at 38, and I believe this is way too low. Go back and look at some Miami Dolphins results in recent weeks. I mean, they're all consistently over the 50s. Those over-under totals ended up being over the 50s. I know last week against the Cardinals, that game was 26-23. This Dolphins team can put up points and they can allow points. This Jets team, I understand why Vegas is concerned. They don't know how to put up points. I agree with that, but they still found a way for the Jets and the 49er game. That game still found a way to get to 40, right? So I still like this game, the Dolphins and the Jets. Oh, I definitely like this game to get over 38. So give me the over 38 there. Another overplay, we have the Browns at the Bills. Speaking of high-scoring matchup, the Bills are consistently in high-scoring matchups every single week. They lost 38-24 against the Oakland Raiders. Last week they lost 27-20 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They lost 41-25 against the Patriots. They are consistently in high-scoring matchups. This Browns team concerns me in that they do not put up points. And they have not put up more than 13 points in a month. But this Bills defense is bad. This Browns defense is bad. I don't see why both these teams can't just run up the score on each other. I like the over here, 41.5, and that's not a lot of points, right? If this game ends up being 20 or 30-20, or even 30-17 or 30-14, we've still beaten the over/under. So give me over 41.5. One more over-under play. We have Dallas hosting the Bucs. This over-under is at 46.5. I don't know what Vegas is looking at. These are two defensive teams. Yes, the Cowboys defense, we look at their on paper, we say, oh, the Cowboy defense, their defense sucks. Hello? They limited the Giants to 10 points last week. They limited the Vikings to 15 points the week before that. They're very good. They slow teams down. The Steelers are the only team to really put up points against this defense. If you're going against the Cowboys, you're not going to put up points. And if you're going against the Bucs right now, you're not going to put up points. They only allowed the Saints to get 11. They only allowed the Seahawks to get 5. They only allowed the Kansas City Chiefs to get 17. This Bucs defense and these Cowboys defense going up against each other, both these offense coordinators will be conservative. They're going to run the football with Doug Martin and Ezekiel Elliott. Give me the under here. It's going to be so under. I don't think it's going to be 30. I mean, it probably will be 30, but it wouldn't shock me if it wasn't. So give me the under for the Bucs and the Cowboys. We have 4 point spread plays. Lions plus 4.5. I like them to go to New York and get the victory. Even if they lose, it'll be by a field goal or less, probably, to me at least. So give me the Detroit Lions plus 4.5. We have the Colts plus 4. I do like the Colts to go to Minnesota and win. It does concern me, though, in the scenario where the Vikings win this game, it probably isn't too close. They probably win it by 9 or 10, just running through my head of what could happen. So that concerns me a little bit. There is a higher probability of that, but I think it is much more probable that the Colts either just win this game or maybe lose by a field goal or something like that. So give me the Colts plus 4. We have the Bucs plus 7. Again, I like the Bucs to go to Dallas and win. So now you're giving me 7 freaking points. The way the Bucs are playing right now, they're not gonna lose within 7 of anybody. I mean, they're not gonna lose more than 7 to anybody. Not to anybody. I don't care if they're facing the Patriots in New England tomorrow. They're within 7. The way they're playing right now. Okay, so give me the Bucs +7, and then give me the Raiders -3. They need this win. They know that they have to get this win, and this San Diego team, I feel like Rivers is still playing for a lot, but he's not playing that well lately. So to me, give me this Raiders team minus, so you have much more to play for late in the season. So there you go. Those are my NFL Week 15 picks and predictions. What are yours? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. Have a nice day. Peace.